Rock, paper, scissors is one of the greatest games to play in your classroom, and here are 3 reasons why. Number 1, it's incredibly familiar, so most people in your class will have known about this game anyway. Number 2, it's incredibly simple, which means it's really easy to adapt to suit your lesson. Number 3, it's an incredibly effective way of helping your class remember certain attributes and qualities of different objects or people. Okay, so this is probably really confusing right now, so I'm going to give a quick example. When I run the Viking workshop in schools, where I go in dressed as Bjorn the Viking, I normally introduce the class to the different Viking gods by using rock, paper, scissors. But instead of calling it rock, paper, scissors, we call it the Viking gods game. And in this game, instead of using rock, paper and scissors as the options, we use Thor, Odin and Loki. As a class, we get to decide the different movements and weaknesses and strengths of these different characters. So for example, Thor as an action might hold his arm up like this as if he's holding a hammer. This is going to help the children to remember that Thor has a hammer. Whereas Loki's more of a trickster god, so you might do something like rubbing your hands together like that in a mischievous way. Now once you've picked an action for each of these characters, this is going to help cement those ideas in your class's head, and it's going to help them remember the names and attributes of these characters. Now obviously in rock, paper, scissors you also need to decide on the strengths and weaknesses, so you need to decide which beat which. So in the example that I'm giving right now, the Vikings game, we might have that Thor defeats Loki with his hammer because he's a lot stronger than him. But then Odin can banish Thor because Odin is the god of gods and could throw him out of the heavens. So this is a really fun way of just creating some characters and some relationships between them, or even objects. You could use this to differentiate the differences in sedimentary, metamorphic and igneous rock. Or you could use it to describe the different attributes and relationships of 3 characters in a Shakespeare play. There really is no end to the ways that you can use rock, paper, scissors to introduce new characters and relationships to your classroom in a way that's going to stick with them for the rest of the term. I know that after I went in and did my Bjorn Viking day, I got reports from the teacher about how they keep playing the Viking gods game as a warm-up to get them back into the feel of their Vikings topic. And that just demonstrates how effective and memorable that game is.